Evening, people. Evening. Still got that frog in my throat. Evening, people. How we doing? Hatter, how you doing? Nice. He's got the old horns up in the chat. You ready for tonight's race? Oh, Sardegna B. Yeah, it is the little odd-shaped one I thought it was. It's a punchy little track. All the Sardegnas are quite interesting tonight. That's where we are. So we're at Sardegna tonight for round 5 of the CHewitt Racing Mini Cooper Cup hosted by TANSO Racing over there on Facebook. Make sure you can go and click all those like buttons on Facebook for CHewitt Racing and TANSO Racing. And if you fancy a full on-board swear fest, probably from D.90, get yourself over to Facebook on his page, D.90 Racing, and go and see his race from his perspective. But don't do that, stay here and watch the whole race from, well, everyone's, from my perspective, I suppose, because I get to choose what we do. So I'll read the scores out to you because I haven't actually got... anything to show you. Let me just get through this bit. We'll get into the lobby and then we'll crack on because qualifying's already underway. So merch still available, people. T-shirts and stickers. Hatter, let me know. You know the game. Right, let's have a look. Make sure I turn the sound on because I usually forget. Tell me if it's too low, too noisy, whatever. If I'm too quiet, it's too quiet, whatever. We did have old people in the lobby on Wednesday, and they were complaining, so I've jiggled some settings, but let me know. So who have we got then? We've got Cutler in the room, we've got D-Dot, we've got Rob Scott, Hatter Lad, also in the chat, Number 1 Pops, Pajonski, Old Crawler, Ricky J, DDR IT43, and Drac Fury. So 10 drivers racing tonight, round 5. Let's get ourselves in. So it's just over 2.5 miles, 2.7 miles here at Sardegna. In fact, let's go back a few. Turn the nonsense on. Go for an onboard lap with number 1 Pops. So into turn 1, turn 2 and turn 3, all very close together. Got to get these right. Plenty of opportunities to run yourself off circuit here. Down towards turn 4, hard up the hill. You've got to be careful not to run it too far wide. Old Crawler almost running it off. Little short straight into the right hander, back down the hill. Again, a lot of opportunities to make a move here. Fast bottom half of the circuit. Hard on the brakes into the right hand up the hill. Oh, number 1 Pops nearly getting a bonnet full of Old Crawler there. Has to take avoiding action. Drives onto the sand. Gives us a little drift through there on the way through. To this final little section through the long sweeping left. Carry a lot of speed through here, but again, got to be careful you don't run it wide. And into this final corner, again, quite tricky. I see 1 or 2 drivers hanging it over there on the right hand side and back onto this start finish straight. And there we go, a lap. There you go. have already got laps on the board. Let's have a look. Hatterlad is at the top at the minute. What's he got? 1:33.2. Just over 5 minutes into qualifying. We're having a 15-minute qualifier. Everybody's out on the race in super softs. Just 3 15-minute sprint races for you guys tonight. That does mean that all 3 compounds of tyres have to be used once per race. Sorry, 1 tyre, 1 compound per race. Again, majority of drivers for the majority of the season have gone hards, medium, softs, but there can be a few drivers that opt for a different strategy. Completely throw it out there, see what happens. Pajonski then in second on 1:33.4. D-Dot behind him. Ooh, goes a little bit wide through there. Shortcut penalty on Strong here as well to avoid that shortcut. D-Dot's got a 1:34.2. Just puts in another lap. Cutler then comes in 4th at the minute, 1:34.2. Nearly halfway through qualifying. DDR IT43 5th on the grid so far, 1:34.3 for him. Rob Scott in 6th, 1:34.3. Ricky J in 7th, 1:34.6. Number 1 Pops in 8th, he's on a 1:35.5. Drag Fury a 1:35.6. And Old Crawler on a 1:36.3. Richard Watt, good evening, Mr. Smoker. Looking forward to comms. Does it sound okay? Are the cars too quiet? Let's have a flick through some cameras and stuff so you can hear them. Or am I too loud? Am I too quiet? Like I say, we did have a couple of oldies in the chat. Turn it down. Deafening. Back on board with Old Crawler. That's the corner that we saw number 1 Pops nearly take a rear end from him. Again, tricky little cars, these minis. Apparently not quite as real as they are in real life, according to people that own them. They don't have that second grab of the wheel when you're going around corners. Seems to be a bit of a trait of these things. Cars are a bit quiet. Okay, I sound spot on. All right, cars can go up. Bam. Cars can go up a bit. Okay, so positions swapped a little bit. DDR Hatterlad still on pole. Has he gone quicker? No, still on that 1:33.2. He's picked himself up a little penalty. He's dropping. D-Dot has gone quicker though. 1:33.8 for him. Chucked himself into second position. IT43 has also gone quicker. 1:34.1. As has Cutler. 1:34.2. Guess that one wrong though. Rob Scott 5th, 1:34.3, 9 minutes into qualifying, so that gives us about 5.5 minutes by the time I've finished yapping. Ricky J, he's in 6th, 1:34.6. He's found a bit of time somewhere. Number 1 Pops 7th, 1:35.5. Drag Fury in 8th, he's got a 1:35.6. Crawler is in 9th on a 1:36.3. Pajonski just in the pits at the minute. Not anymore. He's going out for a Raz. No tyre wear or fuel depletion in qualifying. It does turn itself on for the race. Times 3, times 5. Is it the other way around? Times 5, times 3. We'll see, because the lobby will have to be reset. Super Soft's not available in the race. Apologies if that's just deafened you. I've just smashed my microphone. There he is in the Luton Town livery. Let's get a bit of a look at that. Don't get to see the side of it in this perspective, unfortunately. He's mad for it. He's mad for Luton Town. Every livery I've seen of his is exactly the same as this. It's almost like he'll only race if he can Luton up his car. Poor guy. Let's not pick on him again. I think we picked on him on Thursday as well in the MDCC. I'm sure there was a few drivers, a few people in the chat giving him some grief. Leave him alone tonight. So Johnson retakes his second spot. That's after coming back out of the pits and going around the circuit, finishing, getting across that first timing mark. Does reset his position. So he's just a quarter of a second back from Hatter. He's got about 3 minutes left on the clock. D-Dot then in third now, 1:33.6 for him. Rob Scott's moved up into fourth, 1:33.9. Found a little bit of time somewhere. IT43, oh, he smashed it into the wall somewhere. He's gonna have to hurry up. Cutler then, 6th, 1:34.2. Ricky J being pushed down a spot into 8th. Changed your bonnet. Why have you got a Red Bull bonnet this week? Have you crashed that, Ricky J? I don't remember you having a Red Bull bonnet last week. Drag Fury into 9th then. He has found some more time, 1:34.9, but only just keeps him in front of Old Crawler. He's on a 1:36.3. There's Hatter still smoshing it, repping for Luton. Jonsky not able to go quicker on that. Now 1:33.6. Looks like he's picked up a penalty. So I'll throw that one in the bin. But what have we got? About a minute and a half left on the race timer. They do get to finish any laps they're on once the 15-minute clock's up. D-Dot having a little ghost. That's going to put this lap in the bin for him. Scott's still out on track though, pushing. D-Dot's kicking off. D-Dot's kicking off. He's not happy about the penalty. We've got it set on strong. And it is to avoid people cutting a lot of these corners here. There's a few you can take a little shortcut. So if you get 4 wheels across the white line, that's you picking up a great big penalty for the trouble. So you've got to keep it, on circuit. Again, we've seen 1 or 2 little areas where you can chop some corners off. Not too many, but it does give you plenty of advantage if you can keep it in a straight line. Follow IT43 through a couple of these corners. Have a look at the shortcuts that are possible. A little cut across that one. Cut across that one if you can get it right. As you can see, there's just a little bit of extra circuit you can. Well, it is grass, but so this one in particular, through there, straight across that bit. If you keep the power down, you can see IT43's just had to control it coming through rather than keeping the power on. We have got new times in places, so it is still, we are over the 15-minute mark then, but it is still Hatter on pole. We've still got drivers out on track. Hatter unfortunately not being one of those. Pajonski is still holding second, still out on track as well. D-Dot into third. Again, might have an opportunity to move up a spot or two. Cutler then fourth, not still around on the track. Rob Scott still out on track. IT43 pulled over, so he's going to have to settle for sixth unless somebody can beat that time of his. One pops seventh, 134 coming up to the line. He's just crossed the line at 134.511, but he's 134.1, so seventh. So everybody across the line. I think it is. So it is Hatter on pole then. Pajonski second. D-Dot third, Cutler fourth, Rob Scott fifth, IT43 in sixth, number one pops seventh, Ricky J in eighth, Drac Fury in, oh no, stop it, you swines, Drac Fury in ninth, and I think Old Crawler in 10th, but you swines keep throwing it in the pits to change your tyres. Swines. Let me have some hot brown sugary stuff. Drag Fury's decided to smash it into a wall at the end of qualifying. Driver's been told, get into the pits, get rid of those super softs. Okay, so it looks like Drag Fury's already done that. He's got a set of softs on for stint one of the rogue drivers. IT43 on the hards. There we go, tyre wear settings at ×5 then. Fuel depletion at ×4. That's what we've got for you guys. Let's get back in then. A lot of drivers opting for that hard tyre. Pajonski on the medium for stint one. Hatter gone for the hard tyre. D-Dot on the hard tyre. Ricky J on the hard tyre. Old Crawler has gone for the hard tyre. Number one Pops on the hard tyre. Rob Scott going backwards on the mediums. Cutler on the hards. IT43 on the hards. And Drac Fury, the rogue, out on the softs. He's going for a fast first stint then. Richard Watt giving everyone good luck. Yeah, exactly what I put in the chat before I start the stream. Yeah, maybe penalties again. Picking up penalties through there maybe. IT43 going for some sneaky starts, look. Sneaky practice start. Well, nobody's looking. We're looking, IT43. He's getting them nailed, he's getting them nailed. So here we go then. The first of the 15-minute sprints here at Sardegna. however you want to pronounce it. I like the hard G. Hatter on pole then, testing the limits of his steering, giving us a flash of the lights. Bajonski in second, D-Dot third, couple of fourth, Rob Scott fifth, IT43 Rob Scott fifth, IT43 sixth. The Warm Pops in seventh, Ricky J in eighth, Drac Fury in ninth, and Old Crawler in 10th. Let's watch them off the line then. The lights go green and they're away. Big piles of smoke as these drivers spin the fronts up. Bajonski slots himself straight behind Hatter. He's on the medium tyre versus Hatter in front on those hards. Head down towards turn one. Bajonski swings out to the outside of the circuit, side by side with Hatter. Can't keep his nose next to him on the way out of there. He's going to have another go. D-Dot then third, couple up fourth. IT43 fifth, but Rob Scott right next to him as they come into turn four, up the inside in fact. Drag Fury on those mediums, on the softs, having a go as well into 7th position already. Fighting his way through the pack. Warm Pops in 7th, just got himself past Drag Fury. Ricky J in 9th. Crawler in 10th. Still swapping, still tightly packed on this first lap. Bajonski then on that medium tyres got himself in front of Hatter. Hatter looking to come back at him, but those medium tyres just pulled himself enough to keep himself in front. D-Dot also on that hard tyre, right behind this battling pair in front. Hatter's got his nose up the inside again. Side by side with Bajonski. Oh, Bajonski's had to back off. Now Bajonski's under threat from D-Dot. D-Dot's got himself up the inside as well. He's got the toe off of Hatter as they head into turn one. You getting to see him almost cut there in the background, having to put on a big handful of brakes as not to run into the sand. So it is still Hatter leading, not by a lot though. D-Dot and Bajonski right there with him. There's Cutler in the background. Drac Fury has got himself into 5th on those soft tyres. He'll be closing up on these boys pretty quickly on the, I expect. Now D-Dot right behind Bajonski, behind Hatter. Hatter gets a big sideways moment through there. Now D-Dot side by side with him. Bajonski now with the toe. It's a proper punch up here for first. Only lap 2. Side by side. Hatter's got the inside line into this turn. Gets himself through. Cutler's gone a little bit wide in the background. All the drivers still pretty close together. I think maybe there's one straggler. Now Bajonski's softs, mediums, still side by side with Hatter as they head down towards this next turn. On board with race leader now Bajonski into this final section. Cutler runs it wide through there again. D-Dot and Hatterlad take different lines, trying to hunt down Bajonski. Fastest lap there for Bajonski, but Rob Scott takes it straight back off him. Down towards turn 1. Bajonski's having to hold a defensive line on the run in. He needs to make these mediums work. These boys on the hards are not making it easy for him. They'll last longer. This should be a faster tyre if he can make the break. They have got a good opportunity for a tow here at this circuit. Still quite tightly packed. Hatter again has a little look at Bajonski. Again gets it sideways through there, does Hatter. Pulls half a second now. Bajonski get a little bit of breather room. Still in slipstream, the two drivers behind, but they are battling it out themselves. So can Podjonsky make those mediums work, get himself just out front? Stretches another couple of tenths down there, needs to make that break before he hits this start-finish straight. He's up to almost a second. That might just be enough. Might just be enough. Hatter is not letting him get away with it though. He's still right there, not slowed down really. Now then, how close is Hatter going to be when Podjonsky comes up to turn one? He's still getting a slight toe, is Hatter, as are everyone else behind. D-Dot then under threat from Cutler behind. Rob Scott also closed that gap up. Drag Fury on his softs in 6 on the tail end of this fight. There's IT43 trying to just catch up to the tail of this one as well. There's a little bit of a gap then back to Ricky J in 8th, 4.2 seconds. Old Crawler in 9th, 1.6 seconds. And it was number 1 Pops a long way down in 10th. So must have been back in the pits, I think. Number 1 Pops possibly picked up damage. Now Podjonsky's got that lead, 1.1 seconds, needs to not make any mistakes, not to push those tyres too hard. The gap again between Hatter, oh there we go, it's already done. D-Dot being pushed down to 5th position then. Cutler and Rob Scott have managed to get past. Cutler's pushed it again too hard on that corner. We saw him do that in qualifying. That allows D-Dot and Drag Fury through. Drag Fury and D-Dot having a little bit of a fight for that position just on the way through that corner, but it has allowed Rob Scott up to 3rd position. There he is. He's on the diet chocolate this week. Top 3 drivers from this race have to carry over a little bit of extra weight into race 2 as well, so it's not all sunshine and roses winning. Again, if Podjonsky wins, he'll have to carry over that big first place weight. It does increase by quite a significant amount, as does 2nd and 3rd. Standard weight is 1050. I think third place is 1085. 2nd place is 1097, is it? And then I think 1st place is 1109, which is, you know, it's loads. It's another 69 kilos, 59 kilos more than standard. But he's still pulling a little bit of time. You can see the wear starting to show on those mediums though. Hattelad's got a little bit of red showing on his tyres as well, but not able to keep with the pace of Podjonsky. Rob Scott's got himself into that 3rd position. Breathing room behind as well, 1.3 seconds back to D-Dot. D-Dot still under pressure though from Drag Fury. Drag Fury's softs are showing a lot of wear as well. He's had to have a bit of a fight through the field to get up to this position. IT43 as well, just hanging on in there. Cutler trying to get back involved on the hards, but under threat from Ricky J. We saw him run himself off circuit a couple of corners before where he is now. Just keeps on there as well. Did drop it back a few positions, and I can imagine Ricky J's obviously gone taking the shortcuts. He's had to drop a great big penalty there. Crawler then goes past because he's carrying the extra speed. Ricky J into 9th then, and number 1 Pops in 10th, still 35 seconds back. Gap growing. Podjonsky 1.8 now. Hatter might just start feeling the breath of Rob Scott. He'll just be smelling that warm chocolate smell. What's that? I can smell cookies or something. What's going on? And then he'll see the purple monster in his rearview mirror and go, damn it! Damn it, Rob Scott! There is race leader Podjonsky then, in chased now by Hatter and Rob Scott, now battling for this second position. Bumper to bumper, near as damn it, 0.3 of a second between them. Let's give ourselves a bit of chase cam on Rob Scott. This is the corner that a lot of drivers are picking up penalties. You can see they're just having to back off the throttle so as not to drive it off circuit. Hatter's not giving Rob Scott any kind of benefit from a tow down there. It does stay in the slipstream though after Hatter gets it straight, but not enough to close up on Rob Scott. On Hatter. Into turn 1, then through turn 2. Pjonski's a little mini in front, getting a little bit smaller every corner. Hatter having to go defensive. Rob Scott on the mediums as well, so Hatter's doing a good job keeping himself in the fight on this slower tyre. Rob Scott though also needs to make his way past now. Can he get it? No, he can't. Oof, Hatter swings across it in front. Rob Scott's going to have a look around the outside of this next turn. Hatter's got the inside line. Ooh, he's a little bit sideways in there again. Rob Scott has a look back on the switchback on the outside. As they run up to this next corner, he's just got himself in front. He's got to give himself, got to give Hatter plenty of room. As they come out of there, it does look like Rob Scott's got the advantage on speed and gets himself in front of Hatter as they head round to finish lap 7. But Hatter still in a good position. He'll get the toe off of Rob Scott as they head back up this start-finish straight. Will they work together? Will they race? Again, Hatter on the slower tyre. He'll just be thinking about hanging on to the back end of Rob Scott. Again, he will be able to have a little go up here. This is possibly the only opportunity. Still side by side on the way out. That's going to give Rob Scott the advantage through this next turn. Always got a little bit of a wiggle on the way through there. That's given Hatter the advantage. Rob Scott though keeps himself right there with him. They're still battling for this second position. Let's just get ourselves back up to Pjonski. There you go, that's the damage it's caused. That battle between Hatter and Rob Scott has just allowed Pjonski to stretch his lead up to 4.4 seconds. Look at the empty circuit behind him. There they are, still battling it out for that second. Again, Rob Scott needs to be making those mediums work, get himself past Hatter. Do the same as Pjonski up front, but it's not working for him at the minute. D-Dot then back into 4th position, IT43 in 5th, but hot on his tail. Again, in a good position if he can hang on to D-Dot into this next start-finish straight run. Drag Fury in 6th then. He's not managed to make those tyres work any better. 2 seconds down from IT43, showing a lot of wear on those softs as well. I've only got 2 minutes remaining, so they will last. He's got quite a big gap behind him to Old Crawler in 7th, who's nearly 10 seconds back, 9.4. So it is Pjonski leading then, 4.5 seconds. Hatter and Rob Scott. Giving each other some proper door banging through this race. D-Dot then 4th, but IT43 nearly having a look up the inside. D-Dot holds onto it. Drag Fury then still 6th. Old Crawler 7th. Cutler another 3.7 seconds behind him in 8th. Ricky J in 9th. Number 1 Pops 10th. Ricky J's picked up a bit of damage as well. So looking comfortable for Pjonski. 5.5 seconds here in race 1. We've got 2 more races lined up. Again, top 3 from this race carry over a little bit of extra weight into race 2, and then so reverse grid as well. And then the top 3 from that race also carry over extra weight, but it is grid positions as of race 2 finishing positions. So 20 seconds left on the race clock. Then Pajonsky comes through to start his final lap. Rob Scott and Hatter again still side by side looking for this second. D-Dot 4th, 3.1 back. Last lap effort for D-Dot to try and make anything more of this. IT43 in 5th, then gets another lap as well. Track Fury has got another lap in 6th. Old Crawler 7th, has managed to get across the line, but we have got Cutler who's finished. He takes 8th position. Ricky J comes home in 9th. It is going to be number 1 Pops in 10th. Wiggle up to the line, flash of the lights as well, and backwards to take that 10th position. Right, so still Hatter is having to do everything he can to keep Rob Scott behind him on this last lap. Rob Scott up the inside. Has it worked? Was it enough? Was it a penalty? I don't think it was. He would have picked it up by now, but Rob Scott has got the advantage into these next couple of corners. It's going to be a push to the line, but it is Pajonsky that's going to take the win here in race 1. There they come. Ooh, still side by side. Oh no, they're not quite. Hatter's just in front, but it is Pajonsky that takes the win. Hatter, Rob Scott. It's got to be Hatter. It's got to be Hatter. He takes 2nd. Rob Scott takes 3rd. Great fight between those two. D-Dot takes 4th. IT43 takes 5th. Track Fury is going to be 6th. Backwards. And Old Crawler comes home 7th, and we've already seen Cutler, Ricky J and number 1 Pops across the line. So that's race 1 done and dusted. Again, it's a reverse grid race for race 2. Top 3 carrying over that extra weight. So it's the standard weight of these minis is 1050. 3rd position now, which would be, oh, who finished 3rd out of you two? Oh, it's Rob Scott, wasn't it? Rob Scott now weighs 1085. For race 2, Hatterlad's going to weigh 1097, and poor old Pajonsky is going to weigh 1109. It's a fair old chunk of weight. And again, reverse grid, different tyre now got to be used. You can't use the same tyre again in these sprint races. So Track Fury, who used the softs, that's those gone. He can't use those anymore. He's only got the mediums and the hards left to use. Pajonsky getting the shouts from Richard Watts. Yep, he was on the medium tyre. He's still got the softs and the hards to play with. So it'll be interesting to see what he does now. He'll be starting from the back of the pack. He'll be carrying the most weight. Will he want to waste a set of softs trying to get to the front and then only have the hards left for the final race? Or does he put the hards on with the extra weight and just use this one as a throwaway, do as best he can, because you've got all the disadvantages out of the way in one race? The extra weight, a slower tyre, saving the softs for the final race, when obviously you know obviously if you finish 1st, 2nd or 3rd, you're going to carry over that extra weight again. But starting from the back with the extra weight, the worst tyre, is going to be doubtful. So you may have to have a bit of a, you know, for instance, you might have to have a bit of a punch up for the final race on the softs, starting from 7th to 5th. ish. Yeah, it's interesting. Interesting strategies for these races with the extra weight. Again, you can't sort of plan for it because you don't know where you're going to finish. You know, so you can't sort of. Well, I suppose you could. You could practice with the 3 different weights and the different tyres, but flipping it, you'd never leave the house on every track. Every tyre and weight combination. Nope. So looking like old crawler on the mediums for race 2. Pajonski's gone for the hard tyre. Yep, so he's gone for the hard tyre and the most weight. D-Dot's gone soft for race 2. Drac Fury in 4th. He's got hards for race 2. He's blown his softs in race 1. Rob Scott has gone for hards. IT43 mediums. Hatterlad has gone for his mediums. Softs on for number 1 Pops. Ricky J has gone for the softs race 2. Cutler's gone for the softs in race 2 as well. So he's opting that strategy I was talking about for Pajonski. That's kind of what he's gone for. He's not carrying any extra weight. He's mid-pack. Oh no, he's near the front actually, isn't he? Because it's reverse grid. He's on the fastest tyre. He knows he's been known to whisper. So reverse grid. Number 1 Pops is going to lead us down towards turn 1. Ricky J 2nd, Cutler 3rd, Old Crawler 4th, Drac Fury 5th, IT43 in 6th, D-Dot 7th, Rob Scott in 8th, Hatterlad in 9th, and Pajonski in 10th. So number 1 Pops gets away. Cutler already having a look. Ricky J having a look as well. Both drivers trying to run around the outside. Pops trying to hold that inside line. Can he carry the speed on the way through? He does do it. Also out on that soft tyre, should be able to push pretty hard, but Ricky J's managed to slot his way up the inside through turn 3. Is it going to be enough? No, it's not. He's not able to carry the speed through. Oh, almost 3 wide through there. I think they were 3 wide. I think Cutler's come out the worst of that. He's been pushed back to 4th position. So it is going to be a punchier race 2 as these faster drivers try and make their way through, but it is number 1 Pop still leading by a second over D-Dot, who's got himself through. He's also nearly got a second over Cutler in 3rd. He's managed to make his way back through. Ricky J holding 4th. Drac Fury in 5th position. Oh, Hatter getting it all sorts of wrong through there. I think coming together with Ricky J, unless Ricky J just got the corner wrong, but Ricky J completely damage free. Hatter, unfortunately, has blown his front end up. He's damaged all his engine and gearbox. So I'm not sure what happened there. Oh, rolling backwards as well. Have we got a disconnect here? What's going on? We'll see. So number 1 Pops then still leads. D-Dot not been able to close up on him. Both drivers on that soft tyre. Rob just threw me into a wall under braking. Oh, I didn't see it. Cut that 3rd. Drac Fury IT43 punching up for 4th position. Rob Scott hanging on the back of that. There was a bit of chaos into that corner there. Hatter, I didn't see it all. Like I say, Ricky J went off. I just saw you coming in sideways. There might have been a little bit of early braking due to how many people were trying to rag their way through that corner, but maybe save the replay. Send it in. That's the whole point. We do review, well, I don't, but stewards do review the footage if you've got a complaint. Pajonski then up into 7th from the back of the pack on those hard tyres. Oof, Old Crawler. Oh, Old Crawler, have you just got that corner completely wrong? I think you have, and into the wall. Hatterlad into the pits now, getting that damage repaired, taking on a teeny bit of fuel. He's going to spend a little bit of time in that pit area though. It's going to drop him back a little bit further. Difficult to make anything back in these short sprint races. And here's number one Pops, 1.5 seconds up the road. D-Dot struggling to close that gap up. Actually, you've got Cutler to worry about a little bit now. He's managed to close the gap up himself on D-Dot. IT43 in fourth, so drivers stretching out here in race 2. Rob Scott 5th. Track Fury 6th. Bajonski hot on his heels though in 7th. And he's got Rob Scott not too far in front, so doing well on the disadvantaged strategy here in race 2 is Bajonski. I'll tell you what I've not done. I've not read points is what I've not done. So what have we got? It is, where's he gone? It is this man leading the championship at the minute with 174 points. Hatter back out on circuit, car repaired. He is second in the championship with 156 points. Bajonski in third. He's got himself 148 points. There he is. He's made up another position into 6th. Who have we lost? What's happened to Drac Fury? Oh, he's got it wrong somewhere. Those hards not working out for him in race 2. Ricky J getting past as well, so pushes himself down to 8th. Cutler is sitting in. Oh, there we go. While we were chatting, Cutler's managed to make his way past D-Dot as well. And all the time, number one Pops is still escaping. 2.7 seconds the gap. So we were talking about Cutler. He's got 139 points. IT43. Got himself 124 points. Old Crawler, he has got 6th position, 107 points. D-Dot in 7th with 105 points. As the dot start, number one Pops leading this race at the minute in 8th. Got himself 90 points alongside Ricky J actually, so joint 9th or joint 8th, sorry. One Eye Lou not racing tonight. Jonesy not racing tonight, but 48 points for One Eye Lou, 28 points for Jonesy, also 28 points for Paddle Shifter not racing tonight. Drac Fury, who is racing tonight, got himself 25 points, and Trucks B, who's also not in the lobby tonight, got himself 20 points on the board. So let's get ourselves back up front. Number one Pops still holding a good advantage, 2.3 seconds over Cutler. Plenty of life left in his softs. Cutler's tyres looking a little bit better though. He is known as a bit of a whisperer. Why have we got blue flags out for the race leaders? Not too sure. D-Dot then in 3rd position, losing a lot of time, 1.5 seconds back. IT43 4th, again dropping back a little bit, 2.4 seconds down. Rob Scott in 5th, carrying that extra weight from race 2 in 4.7 seconds down. Bajonski though, 6th position, only 1.1 seconds down from Rob Scott. Still half of this second race to go. Ricky J 7th, soft tyre on. He's got Drac Fury 2.3 seconds back on that hard tyre. I think Drac's struggling on those a little bit though. Old Crawler in 9th on that medium. And Hatter still a lot of work to do, 37.7 seconds back from Old Crawler. Oh, okay, so it is Hatter that is causing the blue flags. I didn't realise number one Pops was quite so close, but there you go, that pit stop slowing him down loads. So As gap come down a little bit, Cutler really pressing then, 1.5 seconds, so 0.7 of a second Cutler's taken out of number one Pops' time. Six and a half minutes remaining. Can number one Pops hold on to this one? Cutler's tyres still looking a lot better. D-Dot's holding a little bit of rear end damage, so I'm not sure where he picked that up. IT43 fourth. Rob Scott and Johnski 5.9 seconds and a second back respectively. There's a Ricky J on his softs, 2.6 seconds back, so still not too far away from those two drivers in front. Track Fury dropping back from Ricky J. I think Old Crawler and Hatter are a little bit too far back, but we'll see what happens. There is Old Crawler and Hatter. Not sure if Old Crawler picked up damage in this race as well. Possibly lap 2, 2:18 on the screen there. Lap 2, so that's a long old lap. So that gap still dropping. Number one Pops then 1.1 second lead over Cutler. Oh, is he having a cheeky toe off of Hatter? No, I don't think he's close enough. Still finding a little bit of time, so it pulls a tiny bit of time back over Cutler. Starting to drop again though, D-Dot then. A little bit of rear end damage. Oh, he sticks a wheel on the grass. Gets that little mini sideways, keeps it pointing in the right direction, but loses a bit of time to Cutler, loses a bit of time to IT43 behind him as well. Scott in 5th, Bajonski 6th. Just 1.4 seconds between these two still. Ricky J 7th. Track Fury in 8th. 6 seconds down now for Drac. Old Crawler in 9th and Hatter even further back. Gap come right down then. Number one Pops has possibly made a little mistake, so it's just 1/4 of a second in it between number one Pops and Cutler. Cutler's tyres very similar in wear to number one Pops through that final corner. Number one Pops hangs it to one side of the circuit, Cutler goes the other. Let's get a, there we go, Cutler already making his way past. I don't think one Pops could do anything about it. Cutler just carrying far too much speed through that final turn. Not quite able to do anything into turn 1 either, although Cutler guns a little bit wide. Number one Pops carries the speed on the way through. He's going to regain this first hit. A little mistake set in by Cutler through turn 1, and there you go. Number one Pops is back into first. All that hard work. Oh, not thrown in the bin as Cutler comes straight back at him through the next turn. Breathing room, just 0.3 of a second, but it is closing. Number one Pops getting that bit of a toe down this straight, but into this harsh right-hander. Again, Cutler gets it a little bit sideways through there. Number one Pops does well to get the traction down. Manages to pull in front of Cutler again. Side by side on the way through there. Little bit of door banging, but it is still number one Pops. Just as though, although Cutler comes back at him, leaves the door far too wide open there, number one Pops. That gives Cutler the advantage into this next turn, but who carries the speed on the way out? Now number one Pops with the toe on Cutler as they head up this long start-finish straight. 2 minutes left on the race clock. That's going to see them at 2 laps here. so deep that time. It does bring number 1 Pops within touching distance. D-Dot still waiting, just 2.1 seconds back, so the little battle between these two has allowed him to close that gap up a tiny bit. 2 laps left to have a go at it as well. Carrying good speed on the exit there. Number 1 Pops. Cutler goes defensive though. Good driving here. Oh, number 1 Pops. Oh, commentator's curse. Oh, so he's going to lose all that time as he allows D-Dot to come through. IT43 comes through as well. Rob Scott's a long way back, I think, still. We'll close back up on number 1 Pops. Oh, what a shame for number 1 Pops. It's a good bit of racing between those two, switching positions. So it is Cutler that now leads this race by 2 seconds over D-Dot in second. They're going to see one more lap when they cross the line. So IT43 taking 3rd position. Number 1 Pops holding 4th then. Rob Scott now 5 seconds behind him. Kajonski still only 1.3 back. Ricky J in 7th. Hattelad for company at the minute. Drac Fury in 8th. Old Crawler 9th. And there is Hattelad tucked onto the rear end of Ricky J. We'll start from the back in race 3, unfortunately, Hatter. And it is Cutler then pulling more time over D-Dot. We are into this final lap. 15-minute race timer ticks over. The final lap marker showed in the top left. We've got drivers already across the line, in fact. So Drac Fury takes 8th. Old Crawler is going to come home in 9th. There he is. Hattelad is tucked into the middle of this pack, so we'll get on board with race leader Cutler. He's going to be the next man that crosses the line anyway. Oh, D-Dot gets the second to last turn wrong. IT43 comes through to sweep that position off of him. Can number 1 Pops get that anything back off that? Sure, there's any more damage on D-Dot's car, but here comes Cutler to take the win in race 2. Backwards he comes. IT43 is going to take 2nd position here in race 2 as well. Right at the end of this one, D-Dot does come home in 3rd. Only just though number 1 Pops did close up behind him in 4th. Rob Scott takes 5th. Kajonski takes 6th. Ricky J 7th, and I've no idea. Oh, there he is. There is the Hatter in the background. He was right behind Ricky J, but disappeared. Well, might be like quali ban or 10 points or something. I don't know. Is that you with the picture of your missus on your overalls there, Cutler? I don't know what Pops did, Drac. I don't know if that was the same incident that happened. I don't know. I didn't see an incident with Pops. I just saw him. I know it was old Crawler. DMK DK10 Gaming. Hello, mate. I'm all right. I'm all right. So, race 3 coming up. Oh, cold, brown, sugary stuff now. It's probably half a degree in the green at the minute. Kajonski's in. Kajonski's in. Straight in. Needs a pee. Every week. Every week, Pajonski. So we get a tiny bit of a break while we wait for Pajonski. So, top 3 from race 2, which will be Cutler, IT43 and D-Dot. They will now carry over the extra weight. The drivers who carried over the weight in race 1, they now set their cars back to normal, and the top 3 from race 2 now set their cars to the first, second and third weights, which is 1085, 1097 and 1109 kilos. And race positions are based on previous race results. So Cutler finished first, Cutler starts first. Just shakes the championship right up. It does make for some good racing at in the final race most weeks, due to everybody sort of being in the positions they need to be, if you like. That makes sense. Or there or thereabouts, so they're always battling with people very similar of skill. Yeah, Drac, like I've just said to Hatter, put an appeal in, record the video, save the race, find the clip, make sure it's a good quality one from inside and outside the car, your perspective, his perspective. We need it inside the car so we can see steering inputs and brake and throttle and stuff like that, so put it in. Had to get in the shouts. I suppose I hope to get myself in this room, and otherwise I might miss the start of the race. I thought I was in this room. Got reset, didn't we? Swiped out, nice. That's a new one. Swipe me out. And there's D-Dot Racing. He's streaming his perspective live if you want to hear him swearing. See his ugly mug. With or without beard this week, D-Dot. Get it on catch up. Just finished the dailies. Yeah, we didn't really see what happened. We just saw Hatter coming into sort of later half of the lap, a bit sideways into one of the corners at like 1,000,000 miles an hour. Well, we'll see Hatter, won't we? You won't drive away. You'll be at the back of the pack. It's not reverse grid for this one. It's Cutler up front. Oh, I see what you're saying, Drac Fury. I get what you're saying. The one pot should have gone for that, as in gone for the win. Should have. Well, it kind of did, but. So here we go then. Race 3 just about to get underway. There is grid order. Cutler up front. IT43 second. D-Dot third. Number 1 Pops fourth. Rob Scott fifth. Pajonski sixth. Ricky J seventh. Drac Fury eighth. Oh, Crawler ninth. Atala 10th. Right, so the light's going red then. We wait for them to drop to green. And we're underway for the final race of the evening. 15-minute sprint then. Grid positions as of race 2. finishing positions. So Cutler holds the lead down towards turn 1. We've already got drivers looking for positions way down here, nearly 4 wide for the drivers battling for third. Cutler holds that top spot though through turn 1. IT43 in second, Rob Scott into third, D-Dot fourth, number 1 Pops at fifth. No, Podjonski through into fifth. Oh, it's far too early to call this. Driver's going all over the place. Hatterlad, Drag Fury, and who was that? Number 1 Pops side by side through that corner. Absolute sandwich there. Hatterlad right in the middle. Ricky J 9th, Old Crawler in 10th at the back. We'll see what Hatterlad can do from the back. Oh, you saw drivers peeling off to the side there. Who was that? I think they managed to get it back on track, but it was number 1 Pops, I think. Cutler leads then by half a second over IT43. He's got the medium tyre on for this final race. IT43's got the softs on. D-Dot medium tyre for the last race as well. Rob Scott on the softs, Podjonski on the softs. An absolute punch up there. Hatterlad right on the back end of him as well. He's also on the softs, up into 6th position already. Track Fury 7th. Ricky J and Old Crawler side by side as they run up this start-finish straight, 8th and 9th. Oh, number 1 Pops. Number 1 Pops with damage. So he's into the pits in lap 1. It is IT43 then using the long straight to get the toe on Cutler, make the move, and he's got himself into first. Cutler under threat for that position as well. He's gone deep. D-Dot comes through. Oh, Hatter goes wide. Rob Scott has a look. Podjonski has a look. It's a real battle here. Cutler trying his hardest to hold on to this position. He's on the slower tyre with these drivers around him. I think D-Dot's on a set of mediums, but Rob Scott is on a set of softs. Got the advantage into this corner as well, giving him plenty of room. Podjonski having a look. Oh, Drag Fury runs deep through there. He's into the gravel, gets himself back on track, but at the back of that little fight then into 9th. Rob Scott through, Podjonski through, Hatterlad through, Cutler pushed down to 6th then. Medium tyre. He's going to struggle to stick with these boys, I think. He's going to try his hardest, but we'll see. He's having another look at Hatter as they come into this last corner. Oh, he's had to run off track though. He's going to pick himself up a penalty for that, unless he's managed to let off the throttle or something to give that position back. There you go. He's picked up a big penalty there, half a second at least. So it is IT43 with a bit of a clear track in front of him. That soft tyre on as well. 1.1 seconds over D-Dot. D-Dot on that medium tyre. Might be a bit of a cork in the bottle for the 3 drivers behind. Rob Scott, Podjonski and Hatter all on that soft tyre. Cutler losing that penalty, holding 6th. Almost, there it goes. So we can get back to full race pace. Ricky J just 3/4 of a second behind him, out on the medium tyre as well for this final stint. Should be able to make those work, Ricky J. Old Crawler in 8th, Drag Fury 9th. We saw him run himself off track on the gravel trap at the end of this long straight he's on now. Number 1 Pops been in the pits already, 30 seconds down from Drag Fury in 10th. 40 seconds down from race leader at the minute, number 1 Pops. So IT43 still making those soft tyres work. He's pulled another couple of tenths over D-Dot. D-Dot's now got a battling trio, multicoloured minis heading towards him. Podjonski squidges his way into 3rd position. Now they are only 0.6 of a second behind D-Dot, so they will be getting a toe off of him. Let's get ourselves... Oh, that's not the view. Oh, there you go, that'll do. There they are, the trio closing up on D-Dot, just half a second in it. Close up under braking as well due to the softer tyre. Still only 1.3 seconds up the road to IT43, so he's not managed to fully escape yet, IT43. D-Dot has definitely got his work cut out here, trying to keep these boys behind him if he can. Rob Scott goes a little bit wide through there. Hattelad might be able to take advantage of that, and now they drop off the back of Pajonski as he now chases D-Dot single-handedly. D-Dot having to go defensive. Pajonski gets the pull out the corner. Into second he goes, on towards first place then. DDR IT43 just in front. Rob Scott and Hatter. Gap just broken up a little bit between those two, but they should close back up on D-Dot before the end of this race. As we see Rob Scott doing so now, so he's in the tow range. Hatter's in the tow range as well, so he will be hanging on to this battle. Can Rob Scott get it done before turn one? Closes up, not quite. Looking to run around the outside of D-Dot though, through turn one. D-Dot has to give him the room, which gives him the advantage on the way out. That soft tyre just working for him, so he's made his way past D-Dot, giving himself a little bit of a gap between himself and Hatter. Hatter's now got to do the work on D-Dot himself, find that corner. Find that corner that'll work. Oh, D-Dot's left the door far too wide open though, and there goes the Luton Town Mobile, following Rob Scott through. Oh, nowhere to go for these two. D-Dot has to back off the throttle early so as not to run it off. Good battle here. Let's get ourselves back up front with IT43. So he's still got just over a second on Pajonski. Tyres looking very similar, fuel looking very similar as well. Rob Scott, Hatter and D-Dot still battling it out for that third position. They're now 2.2 seconds down from the battle in front between Pajonski and IT43. Pajonski should be getting a decent tow down here. Over the halfway point in this race, Pajonski gets the gap down to just 0.5 of a second. It's only going to get smaller now as he's right behind IT43. Pulls a little bit more time over that fight behind. Rob Scott still holding that third. Hatter and D-Dot still having a punch up for fourth though. D-Dot's doing well on the mediums against these drivers on the softs. Hatter's now to give him plenty of room. This might just give Rob Scott a little bit of a break here. Not quite. They are now back into formation. Crawler 6th, Cutler 7th. He's now carrying the most weight in this second race. Third race from the second race. Vicky J in 8th. He's got Drank Fury closing up back behind him. And number 1 Pops still 31 seconds down, unfortunately. Ended up in the pits in lap 1. And Pajonski then gets his way past IT43. That must have happened down the straight in the middle of the circuit. Will it be 2 wins here tonight for Pajonski? That'll be a first and a 2 firsts and a 5th, or was it a 6th in race 2? Now it's IT43's chance to have a go back. He's just 0.3 of a second back as they head down towards turn 1. But it is Pajonski that holds the advantage through there. He pulls a tiny bit of time over IT43 as well. to the third place battle. Rob Scott still holds it. Hatter. Oh, Hatter now has a look up the inside. Ooh, through turn 4 into turn 5. Rob Scott still got the advantage a little bit. Hatter's thinking, forget that. I'm still running side by side with you if I can. Ooh, not quite. Rob Scott still giving him plenty of room, and he does hold that third for now. D-Dot's just tucked in the background, trying to hang on to these two in front. So he's on the medium tyre, the driver's in front on the softs. They'll wear out a lot quicker, obviously, the soft tyre. But not quite as grippy for D-Dot. Needs to hang on to the slipstream of these two on these longer sections. He seems to be doing well at it at the minute. Now Pajonski with over a second lead from IT43. Out of the slipstream range now. Again, still pulling time from that battle behind. That gap from 2.3 to 2.6. Hatter now with a half a second penalty he's got to lose. Is that going to help D-Dot? Is that going to benefit Rob Scott? Is he going to be able to pull away a little bit? Can Hatter lose it and stay in this fight? Yes, he can. Drops it almost all of it on the way into turn 1. Still just 0.4 of a second back from Rob Scott. Keeps himself in front of D-Dot as well. Old Crawler 6th, Cutler 7th. Not been able to move up the field anymore yet. Cutler started at the front, but again carrying all the way over from race 2. Ricky J's just a second back as well, so a little bit of wear on his mediums, but he'll be running a lot lighter than Cutler in front. Oh, Cutler again, 2 wheels on the gravel. That has helped Ricky J out. So just 2.5 minutes remaining in race 3 here. Jack Fury 9th, 1.6 seconds back. And number 1 Pops still, unfortunately, 31 seconds down. But it is Pajonski still leading. IT43 keeping him in check just about 1.1, 1.2 seconds. Loses a little bit of time as well to this battle behind. Rob Scott now 2.2 seconds back. Still got Hatter for company, just half a second back. But D-Dot has lost a bit of time now. He's a full second back out of the slipstream range. Oh, Cutler with another penalty. Ricky J then in the slipstream. He's already gained a bit of time on Cutler. Fury's not too far back either. He's just 2 seconds down. Again, Cutler doing well to lose all of that penalty into turn 1. Keeps Ricky J behind him. Drag Fury again just 2.1 seconds back. And number 1 Pops is still, unfortunately, making up 30 seconds now. We've only got a minute and 15 seconds left on the clock. Pajonski now has a 1.4 second lead up front. IT43 trying his hardest to close that gap back up, but it's not working for him. He is now being threatened a little bit by Rob Scott. That gap's down to 1.6 seconds. He has still got a mirror of this orange and white Luton Town themed minied liveried mini, sorry, not minied livery. D-Dot then 5th. Tried as hard as he could on his mediums to hang with those boys. Did so only up until, what, a lap ago really. Just fell back, so old Crawler is looking good for 6th at the minute. Cutler's still got a big pink Ricky J chasing him down. Drag Fury's managed to pull a little bit of time back on these boys as well. I think Cutler might have just gone wide through there again. And number 1 Pops gets himself off circuit. We've only got 10 seconds left on the clock. It is going to be number 1 Pops that finishes and crosses the line first, but let's keep an eye up front. IT43 Hatter. Where's Hatter gone? isn't looking good for Podjonski. He's got to 1.6 second lead. IT43 on the other hand, he's only got 0.8 of a second over Rob Scott. Decent amount left on those soft tyres as well. A bit of wear showing for IT43. This is it, final lap. He's just got to hang on to it for a couple more corners and not let Rob Scott get the toe on him down this start-finish straight. Pulls another little bit of time back. I don't know what's happened to Hatter. He was right behind Rob Scott. So here comes the Podjonskinator, second win of the evening tonight for him. Race 1 and race 3, 5th or 6th in race 2. IT43 takes second, Rob Scott takes third. Not sure what happened to Hatter, but D-Dot takes 4th position. Old Crawler takes 5th. Ricky J does, oh no, ooh, does just take 6th in front of Drac Fury. Cutler, unfortunately, he's picked up all sorts of damage, so he's going to finish the race off in the pits, taking 8th. Number 1 pops 9th, and yes, Hatter decided to eject himself out. I thought that was a good little battle between you and D-Dot and Rob Scott then. Yeah, it was a well fought battle there, IT43. I thought you were having a good fight, Hatter. Oh. There it is then, round 5 done and dusted. Let's have a little look. Where are we next week? Brands Hatch GP circuit, so the full length Brands Hatch on Monday next week. Same time, same place. We are back with a full endurance though. It is a full 1 hour endurance. They do have to use all 3 compounds of tyre again. They are only allowed to use 1 set of each. Thank you all. Thank you all. What's happening, Drac? Can't be like that, Hatter. Can't put in a nice gif. Oh, sorry, mate. I don't know what that's all about. Nice, nice, nice. No problem, Hatter. No problem, D-Dot. No problem, DK10. So yes, that's it. That's round 5 done and dusted. We're back for round 6, same time, same place next week, 8:30 with 1 hour endurance from Brands Hatch GP. So come and check that out. With or without Hatter, not sure. Yeah, we'll see. And yeah, so next week 8:30 for round 6. I myself am back on Wednesday night for the Team Oliver Racing GR3 League. That's over there on GT7 PS5. Still tiny bit glitchy in the lobbies. We have got issues with the PS4 drivers, unfortunately, picking up some kind of pause bug or something, but we'll see if there's an update that comes that fixes that. I think there's an update that's coming or come. I'll see. We'll have to fire it up and see. So that's Wednesday night at 8:30, and then Thursday, as Hatter's just mentioned in the chat, we are back with the DMJ Vroom Room MDCC. That's the one. I couldn't think of the name of it for a second. It's Manufacturers Dual Class Championship. So we're GR3s and GR4s. GR4s back this week, I think, which means we're back into the 2 race format. If it's the GR3s, we're back in the endurance. Well, I think it's GR4s this week. I could be wrong. So yeah, same time, same place next week, 8:30 for the minis, 8:30 on Wednesday again for the Team Oliver Racing GR3 League, and 7:45 on Thursday for the MDCC from DMJ Vroom Room. That's the lineup we've got coming up, people. Come and check it out. It's usually good racing from all the lobbies and all the leagues. But that's about it from me. I hope you've liked what you've watched. If you have, give it a like, comment, subscribe, all that sort of stuff. Share it out. Tell your mates, tell your mums. My name's Dark Smoker. I'm out of here.